because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Colin McGuigan for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by Jason Quigley. This is becoming a bit of a habit. You know, it's going to be even more of a habit when we're in New York.
Whenever we get you over to New York City, boy.
When you are at an event like this, you're at Katie's homecoming, you're part of the Zone broadcast team. Does it start to feel a bit real that you're going to experience an atmosphere, something like this in New York? Maybe very similar.
Yeah, it's very weird, you know, because you don't get to experience any of this. Because you're backstage, you're chilling, you know, you're just warming up, you're getting wrapped. You don't come in here until, you know, obviously I'll be main event in MSG. So, you know, you'll be staying at the hotel room maybe for the first couple of fights, then you'll be popping over. And, you know, it's a completely different atmosphere. So I'm taking it all in here because I know that whenever I get to MSG, it'll be a completely different atmosphere because obviously it'll be the fight atmosphere. It'll be the vibe of the ring walk, you know, the vibe of landing some beautiful shots on Berlanga's head, like, you know, so it's going to be good for sure.
In terms of what you've seen being part of that broadcast team tonight, are you happy that big time boxing's finally back to Dublin, Ireland? We've had it in Belfast with Common boxing, but this is massive down here for Dublin. How big really is it for the south of Ireland?
Just for people to take a walk out there and take in the atmosphere, take in the crowd that's out there. There's no words to describe it. Like, that's what it means to Irish boxing. And I honestly, genuinely believe that after tonight, Croke Park will be a done thing. It has to be because they'll see exactly how passionate the Irish fans are, how up for it that they are. And, you know, this is special for sure.
You just said something very poignant there. And I'm going to tell you about it because I thought about this and I was actually going to ask Eddie afterwards. You've beat me to it. Katie and Serrano in Croke Park, right? You beat Berlanga at the end of June. That's a co-main, Puerto Rico against Ireland. How big would that be for Jason Quigley at Croke Park?
That'd be unbelievable. You know, definitely. It'd be unbelievable. I think in all terms, do you know what I mean? It really, really would. Definitely possible.
You really believe that you're going to go to New York, you're going to take his head off, and you're going to come out proving all the doubters wrong, who thought after this Andrade fight that Jason Quigley's finished. Now, Jason Quigley can't do it anymore. Now you're going to show the world that you can beat Edgar Berlanga on June 24th.
I don't believe it. It's going to happen. Definitely, without a doubt. You know, I have no question in my mind that everything that I've done, everything that I've been through in my career so far, you know, everybody goes through their own journey, their own paths, ups and downs, but I genuinely honestly believe now that this is the time for me. There's no better stage. You know, I am kind of coming in under the radar a bit. Berlanga, it's his Matchroom debut, MSG, Brooklyn, hometown boy, flash, brash, wears the jewellery, even wears fucking sunglasses inside. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's that all about? So, you know, I'm excited and I'm looking forward to getting in there, putting on one hell of a show and showing him who the boss is.
In terms of Berlanga's weaknesses and what you've seen that you can exploit in his game, because you're someone that's kind of at the stage of your career where you're definitely studying tape of him, you've been in there, you've experienced the rough and ready. He's at a different kind of stage of his career. He's at the rebuilding kind of stage through Eddie Hearn because he's not really done what he was meant to do at Top Rank. What can you do to exploit him in there on June 24th?
You know, there's a reason that Top Rank didn't do everything they could to hold on to him. If he was the big star that some people say that he is, they would have done everything they could to hold on to him. But he ventured elsewhere. He wasn't performing brilliantly in his last couple of fights. You know, when you look at him, you know, he can box, he can fight, he's strong. But all those things were taken away when he kind of stepped up a level. You know, he got dropped. He got into a real tough points decision win against a lad that some people thought might have beat him. You know what I mean? And these are all lads that are just out there to test you. These are all lads that, you know, are there to bring you rounds. And they're bringing him the rounds. And, you know, he's not blowing them out of the water. And he's not like a diamond shining in the rough. Whereas, you know, all right, I was in with Demetrius Andrade, but he was never in with the likes of a Demetrius Andrade. Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't even close to being in with the likes of a Demetrius Andrade, if you ask me. Whereas I have been, and he also hasn't been in with anybody like me either. So you know, it's going to be a great fight. I'm really excited for it, and yeah, I'm excited to go in there and get the victory also.
One final one from me. You work with Andy Lee. He works around Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker, these big names. How crucial is he to your game and your game plan and going into a big fight like this against Berlanga?
Look, Andy has been there. He's had the ups, he's had the downs. He's fought for a world title, he's lost. He's fought for a world title, he's won. Do you know what I mean? Similar kind of career path, you could say, as myself. And there's no better man to have in your corner than a man that has been through the mill, that has been to the highest highs, been to the lowest lows, and come out the other side. You know, we all know why Andy's on the DAZN broadcasting team as well, because of his boxing IQ. He can read a fight, he can look at a fight very, very well, and he can dissect a fight very well. So having that man in our team, in my team, you know, is vital, and he's going to be there in the corner of Madison Square Garden, a place where he has had many a victory as well. So go be another nice victory for him to put into his feather in the cap there. Sorry.
We'll catch up fight week. Really appreciate it. See you in New York, Jason. Let's go.
Look forward to seeing you in New York. Let's go, boy.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,